This transcript was created using speech recognition software. Although it has been stewed by human transcribers, it may contain errors. President Biden arrived in Israel today as the crisis in the region deepens. Archived recording 1. We have other breaking news. NBC News is currently learning that a gang targeting a hospital killed 200 to 300 people. Archived record 2. These are people likely to be treated for war-related injuries. After a devastating explosion at a Gaza hospital sparked protests across the wider Middle East and drew conflicting claims over who was responsible. Archived recording 3. Palestinians in the West Bank are very uneasy. Archived recording 4. Yes. There are chaotic scenes outside the U.S. Embassy in Beirut. Angry protesters. Lebanese and Palestinians. My colleague Edward Wong. America's most difficult diplomatic mission. Archived record 4. The anger is not directed solely at Israel. People blame the U.S. government supporting its ally while preventing a wider war. Wednesday, October 18. Ed. There is a deteriorating situation in the Middle East. You're very focused on American diplomacy right now and have been traveling with American officials in the region over the past week. Tell us what they're trying to do. Sabrina. This is the most intense diplomatic battle I've seen among U.S. officials in my time covering foreign policy and diplomacy in Washington. And it's obvious because the stakes are so high. The United States wants to give full support to Israel, which is a very close partner in a region where many countries are hostile. There's this growing humanitarian crisis in Gaza as Israel carries out airstrikes and prepares a ground invasion there. And on top of all that, you have the possibility that this could become a broader regional conflict. And that's what U.S. officials are desperately trying to address. From the beginning of this crisis, American officials were also involved. We saw the United States immediately come out and condemn Hamas attacks immediately after they occurred on Saturday, October 7th. And then over that weekend, there were very intense discussions between President Biden and foreign leaders in the region to really try to challenge them with a coherent message about the attacks. I know that U.S. officials, U.S. leaders were focused at the time on showing strong and unwavering American support for Israel, whatever Israel planned to do with its military strikes, including retaliation against Hamas. They also wanted talk Arab leaders, persuade leaders, condemn Hamas and the attacks and show as much support for Israel as possible. Ed. Why was it so important get Arab countries to sign this? Condemn the attack? Given scale of the attacks, I think they think United States is trying rally Arab nations and Arab leaders to what Israel is about do. As you know, Sabrina, Palestinians are viewed as victims by many Arab citizens in the region. I can say that most people living in the Middle East see Israel as